Hello and welcome to your L6M3 Learn Objective 3 answer. So today we are going to look at the following question. Identify 5 performance measures or metrics that an organization could use to assess its supply chain performance and explain how these could be applied to improve performance. So remember, in this kind of question, you could get it just like this, or it could be based on a case study. So I personally feel like this will be a lot easier if it was based on a case. But let's drill in. So we always start with defining. So it's good to define what a KPI is. So a key performance indicator is an agreed quantifiable measure of performance. And these can be qualitative or quantitative. You may want to give some examples of KPIs here, but it's just a brief sentence to start off this question. Okay, so there are many different performance metrics you could use, and there is no one way to answer this question. I've chosen the model by Slack, Chambers and Johnston, and these 5 performance objectives. They're actually linked to operations management in particular, but I think they're really useful to use in lots of different areas as well. So we've got speed, quality, dependability, flexibility, and cost. And what we're going to do is drill into each of these. However, just a little caveat here. You need to address the full question. So it's asking you to identify 5 performance metrics, so 5 areas that you're going to measure, but it also asks you to explain how these could be applied to improve performance. So you need to do both of these things to attract marks. Now you can do these one after the other. So I've done it per performance metric. I've said how that could be used to improve performance. Or you could give the 5 performance metrics and then say how they could all be used to improve performance or applied to improve performance. So it's up to you. This is just one suggested way. So let's look at speed. When we're talking speed performance metrics, we're looking at the short lapse of time from when orders are made to when they're fulfilled. This is one area of speed that we can look at. So the internal and the external lead time might be something that we want to measure. And to apply that to performance, this could help us to potentially bring in just-in-time working and check how effective our just-in-time approaches are. Are the goods coming in and going straight into the production line? Never too early, no too late, but just in time. Linked with the MRP system, so your material requirements planning system, the forecasting or scheduling system, to ensure that goods are there when needed without having to hold a ton of safety stock, which ends up costing an organization money. So it can actually save you money, make you more efficient, and manage risk in terms of your supply chain. So that's speed. Quality. Quality is producing goods and services that satisfy the customer needs, that are fit for purpose. And in terms of each of these performance measures, you might want to actually mention example metrics. So in terms of speed, time taken to raise an order. In terms of quality, you could put percentage rejects or something along those lines. And applied to performance, you can use quality as a benchmark for your suppliers. You can benchmark against each other, see who's performing well. You can benchmark one supplier's performance year on year, see if there's any decline or improvement. Bringing in quality management techniques such as total quality management, getting it right first time, 0 defects, all of that sort of thing can ensure the whole supply chain meets the quality requirements. So essentially by measuring quality, this can ensure that you get the right quality for your goods, that you can bring in world-class techniques, and you can track quality trends as well. Dependability. So for me, this is one of the key aspects of anything in life. I talk to people all the time about how consistency is such an undervalued trait, and consistency and dependability go hand in hand. So this is producing products or services that are reliable and consistent. This is that the customer can trust it, that there aren't quality issues, that there aren't service issues, whatever it may be. And applying for performance is you can measure the supplier's actual performance versus the expectation and see if there's a gap there. In terms of dependability, you can ensure clear communication, regular meetings, reviews, so that both parties know exactly what's expected from them. And also with dependability, if you measure this, it can really help you manage the reputation or perception of your organization to ensure that you're meeting customer needs and you're perceived to be good value. Dependability is really important. As a customer, you want to be able to rely on the product or service you are receiving. Next, we have flexibility. Flexibility is all about adapting to changes in demand or marketplace changes. In a fast-moving market, you've got to be flexible, you've got to be agile, or else you're going to get left behind. And in terms of applying this for performance, well, measuring things like flexibility of suppliers will allow us to introduce new products, getting to market first. I think one of my favorite quotes from Emmett is make it faster, move it faster, get paid faster. And especially if these are new innovations, that can make a huge difference. This gives you the flexibility for late customization to bespoke products to your customer needs, making you more flexible, like Dell. So if you want that pink laptop with the butterfly case, Dell can do that for you. And you can measure this in terms of number of new innovations launched or amount spent on research and development, something along those lines. But measuring flexibility enables us to see if the suppliers will be able to keep up with our demands. And finally, cost. Cost is producing products and services at a minimum cost or a minimum whole life cost, if we're going to look at best value. So regular communication is a really important part of cost control. You have to know what's happening in the market. You need to know what's going on. So if we're measuring things like percentage price increases or percentage price decreases, we can work with the supplier to communicate with them about the importance of controlling costs and keeping them to a minimum. And remember that costs out of all of the others are affected by every key performance objective that we just mentioned. So flexibility, quality, and so on will have a direct impact on cost. And what our role is, which is the tricky thing as procurement, is to keep this balance of meeting the costs or minimizing costs while still meeting all the required customer service levels and all the other objectives as well. So it's that hard balance to kind of take. But if you've ever watched any sort of property program where they don't have a budget or any form of cost control, they usually start off with a budget, like a rough idea, a rough estimate of, say, they're going to spend £10,000 on this house. And then when you go back, they spend 100,000 and it's a totally different house. So without cost control, you can go wild. And that's why performance management and performance metrics in the cost area is so important. If we wanted to drill in even further, you could kind of conclude in this question with tools to apply these performance measures. You could do a balanced scorecard on your suppliers. You could engage in benchmarking or set them smart targets based across these 5 areas. These are good things just to kind of mention that this is the tools that you would use to essentially apply these performance metrics. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. Thank you so much for listening. Catch me back for another question soon. Bye for now.